Hello, everybody. I'm Larry Ridley, and this is the NFL on EA Sports. Anticipation is mounting for today's game, and we've got two quarterbacks looking to make an impact. It's Ryan's Falcons going up against Wilson's Seahawks.
Larry, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Evergreen State and CenturyLink Field in Seattle, Washington. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with the Atlanta Falcons. Shift together here from the D-line. Here's Thomas Rawls with his first carry. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Here's Wilson. Flushed out right. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Vic Beasley from his outside linebacker spot, forcing the sack for a loss of 8. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. In motion is the tight end, Graham. 3rd and long. It's Wilson. He finds his man, Baldwin. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. A very solid gain of 27. They'll throw on first down with Wilson. Going to Rawls on the dump off. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
I like it, I like it, I like it. Get everyone involved in the passing game, and you know you can create those great mismatches throwing it to your guys out of the backfield.
And on the first drive, that can also help establish some rhythm, right?
I think so. It gets everyone involved. They feel like they're part of it, and really gets them amped up as they go forward.
But just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
In motion is the tight end, Graham. First down, this is Rawls. And he takes it across midfield to the 45. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. If these kinds of lanes are available, you have to feel like he's going to have a pretty big game on the ground.
Yeah, you can tell early on he's got a little burst in his step, and that's a big pickup right there on first down.
Offense in a good spot here, 2nd and 2. They stay on the ground, rolls again. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So here we go, 1st and 10 now. Wilson going to give to Rolls. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball, but when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Flush to his right, and some room to maneuver. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, 36 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first-quarter lead. And maybe the defense got so caught up in him throwing the football, they forgot he can take off, too.
And you often hear about the quarterback being the unaccounted-for guy as a runner. Well, even on a passing play, he's unaccounted for as a runner, and he turned it into a nice gain.
A very nice run, and it turns into 6 points. Try and run for the first time with Freeman. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
You know what really fires up offensive linemen? When the guy that is carrying the ball behind them can create his own space and break a tackle along the way.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32. So 2nd down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on 3rd. From the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. And he's taken down at the 43, but not before picking up the first. Ryan to Jones, the Falcon connection there for a first.
One of the selling points of the in route is it gives the quarterback a really nice sight line to his receiver, and almost on a direct shot, able to throw the ball into the middle of the field and have a great chance of success as they did on that play.
And that'll set him back 5. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
On 2nd down, here's Ryan. And this is Gabriel on the catch. And he is going to be knocked flat on his back. Oh, a big hit. Ryan finding Gabriel for the Falcon first down.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. And he had a nice play there from his free safety position to hold him to nothing.
And, Brandon, remember when the free safety was always back away from the line of scrimmage?
That's changed.
Has that changed in a big way. The way we see it now, they're almost mirrors between the free safety and the strong safety. One will be up, one will be back, or sometimes both will be in the same spot. On that play, the free safety was there, no gain.
And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That's their second, so they'll have one remaining here in this second quarter. We'll be right back. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Ryan leads with Freeman on the draw. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. Second down. He had a great read there from his free safety position. And, Charles, you know with those guys, it's all about their eyes. They have to be laser focused.
Yeah, I had to fake my way through it when I was playing, but now I can see exactly what they're doing. And on that play, he obviously had no presence to feel like he's being pushed for a pass. And without that, that allowed him to get up to the line of scrimmage and hold him to no gain.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And out of bounds all the way down at the 2-yard line. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. And with that, they're now out of timeouts. And still plenty of time remaining here in this second quarter. The game clock sitting at 2:02, so they'll get one play before the 2-minute warning. Ryan escaping the pressure right. And he'll just chuck this one up into row G. It's incomplete. 1:58 to go in this first half of play. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. And he motions the wide receiver. Back to the running game. It's Freeman. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to say?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt, I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. 4 yards, that gets him close to the goal line, but it also brings up a 4th and goal.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
So that'll back him up 5. So on 4th down, off goes Matt Ryan, and on is another Matt Bryant. This is an easy one, 23-yarder. And the 42-year-old veteran's kick is up and good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. Certainly their offense has sputtered here a little bit in the first half as they finally do get on the board, but they only have 3.
Well, at least it eases the frustration a bit, doesn't it? Be able to get some points on the board, feel a little bit better about themselves as they go into the locker room and try and regroup.
The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. That one good for 10 yards. And it'll be second and very short. From the shotgun, Wilson Eluding the pressure right. Complete. Richardson has it. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
Looked like the defense put pretty good pressure on him, but he's able to flush out to his right to try and evade people. On the run, had to get on his horse. Still accurately throws a nice pass for a first down.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll make it a second down. And at his size, he's a smaller back. You can get him to football. He can kind of get lost, make someone miss. It's good for him.
Yeah, it's great for him. I like what you said there. Sometimes he gets lost in the traffic a little bit, but get him out in the open field into some space. That plays to his strengths the best and keeps him out of it where all the big boys are, you know, make him make someone miss in the open field.
And here now come the Falcons. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. He's going to air one out. A 50-50 ball here, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Now we'll see what this Seahawks offense has in store with their first possession of the second half. We have not seen much on offense from either side. These last few drives, it has been a struggle, hasn't it?
Totally, and you're thinking to yourself right now, if you're on offense trying to get things figured out, okay, we self-scout every week in our game plan. How many things do we do at certain times? What are our tendencies? Time to go to some of those tendency breakers and try and create some offense.
They always have those in their back pocket, don't they?
You have to, and if you don't keep abreast of what you're doing, you lock into a rhythm and make it easy for the opposition.
Looking for tendency breakers right now. Credited with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
On second down, Wilson. That's strong. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes. Vic Beasley in there to drop him for his 2nd sack now here tonight. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Now he's forced out right. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
And absolutely zero surprise that that one was incomplete, huh? I mean, truthfully, how many OCs have we seen with 3rd and 20 on their play sheet and go, oh, I've got the exact play to dial up?
No, that's just a head scratching down when you're facing a 3rd and 20. Tried to complete it, couldn't get it done. Yards on the return that time, and out will come the offense as they take over. So out come the Falcons now. We have not seen much on offense here from either side these last few drives. We've hit a wall, so to speak.
And have hit it hard, haven't we? Because the defenses right now, they seem to be a step ahead, don't they? Beating them to the point of attack, beating them to the punch. These offensive guys, they're tinkering like crazy. What's it going to take to get back on track?
Yeah, both sides searching for adjustments. 2nd down to the offense in search of 6 yards. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. On 3rd down, Ryan. He hits his target. It's the tight end, Toilolo. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. They'll try and throw for it with Ryan. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Seahawks are going to take over the football. Well, that pass hitting the ground means time to shift gears for a second. Look at the AFC West. The Chiefs and the Chargers playing Saturday night in what could be ultimately a division championship game.
And boy, things have really changed, though, haven't they? Because we thought that at one point the Chiefs were running away with this division. They came back to the pack. The Chargers came forward. And as you mentioned, now we're down to potentially a one-game showdown to decide who's going to go to the playoffs, and what a showdown that's going to be. Alex Smith for the Chiefs, Phillip Rivers for the Chargers. Let's get it on.
On first down, Wilson. Flushed out right. Drops it underneath for Rawls. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Fresh set of downs here. And some changes here as the D-line separates some. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they move the chains.
For so many years, I was convinced it was a myth, you know, because you always hear about the smaller running back. Oh, he gets lost, you can't find him, and sometimes that's part of his genius. But it's true. You get behind big offensive linemen, the defensive line guys trying to find him, trying to peek around people to see him, and he gets lost. But this guy gets lost in a good way for his offense, picking up big yardage.
Back now in Seattle, Washington. Back to the ground on first. Again, it's Rawls. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They'll run it now out of the gun. And an alley to run. He'll get it to the 23-yard line. And the Falcons going to use another timeout. That's going to be their second. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back. This is 3rd and 2. Maybe the biggest play in this football game. To throw is Wilson. They set up the screen to Rawls. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 16. And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. That will be their 3rd and final stoppage as they'll only have the 2-minute warning now remaining. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. And here he'll get it down to the 7. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. The former Gamecock here. This is Mike Davis. And, oh, a good hit there and knocked down hard at the 9-yard line. And in this situation with the lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. They run with a power back. Rawls. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down.
But forget knowing where the first down line was. This defense created their own line of scrimmage. They won every battle up front, and a lot of times that is one-on-one. And if you win your one-on-ones enough times, your defense is going to be pretty good. They had more people to the football and snuffed out the play.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this. And Walsh able to convert it as his kick is good. And they will stretch their lead to 10 now at 13-3. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, push their backs clearly against the wall.
Now after the made field goal, Walsh back out to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive. Almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
Able to slither by. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Ryan. They still can't get it. All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Well, he strung it out as far as he could, and I like the fact that he kept his eyes downfield, but he finally ran out of time and room. But I'll take that over forcing it downfield and possibly having it intercepted.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And down he'll go at the 25. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves him looking at a 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll run it. Freeman. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. They get 3 there on the pickup, and that leads to an Atlanta 1st down.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
That was a good run, probably right on the edge of breaking into something really big. So the defensive guys right now are talking about, okay, what can we do to slow him down before he truly gets started?
And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But the bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
17 yards on the pickup there, and the drive will continue.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the all-pro free safety, Earl Thomas.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now a toss. This is Rawls.